Golf legend Arnold Palmer has passed away. As the King, as he was referred to by his colleagues for his numerous PGA and championship tour wins, helped popularize golf when it first became televised in the 1950s. He was also, of course, known for his famous drink named after him. Yes. So tonight, in honor of the King, go drink something better.
Parkfly Ventures has set its plans to open a 3.5, it's 35 million basically, 3-story Hopcat Royal Oak. The new Hopcat will feature 130 beer taps in Royal Oak, including a second floor dedicated to local 30 beers, beers that are made from around the area. So here are some of these Royal Oak beers. The Mama Jogger Lager. With -3 calories, this delightful brew is offered in a convenient Nalgene bottle, so you can take it with you during your jogging groups while your kids are in daycare. The We Aren't Detroit Sour, a refreshing beer for those who get sour after being associated with being a suburb of Detroit. The Don't Come Stout Here, just the beer to bring closeted Republicans and Christians together. The IPA Costly Stream. What's more satisfying than pissing away money? The beer is brewed with gold flecks and imported remains of foreclosed Dearborn Heights houses. Hopcat Royal Oak. And those looking for a brown ale will be refused service nastily.
Tonight is the highly anticipated presidential debate between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Thank you for coming here to watch something better. They will come face to face to discuss America's direction, achieving prosperity, and securing America, among other topics. You can watch the debate on several channels. However, they may be hard to catch as each channel has its own name for the debate. To help you, here are some excerpts from the TV guide. CNN Live, guest commentary on the debates. ABC, Dancing with the Politicians. Fox Live, Hillary Clinton obituary reading. MSNBC, What Rachel Maddow Thinks. And C-SPAN, Watch Us, Please. Brangelina
is no more. Brangelina is no more. After 11 years, Hollywood power couple Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have announced they're divorcing, to which Jennifer Aniston responded,
Tonight, we are bringing back the podcast Couch Potatoes Unite! They're going to be discussing a show that's made me laugh very, very hard. That's Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, phenomenal show on Netflix. Should be a lot of fun tonight.
And of course, we couldn't stress this enough. The Grand Rapids Improv Festival is coming up. We've added a press release, a number of shows and workshop events on Facebook. So subscribe, sign up, and come check us out. Spread the word. It's going to be just out of this world this year.
Be sure to catch comms every Monday here at Dog Story Theater. Usually there's not a presidential debate in our president the same week, but thank you for being here tonight. And now, Grand Rapids. Newsflash, this is Couch Potatoes Unite!
It's a real name. I say that every time. So we're actually live streaming online right now, so make sure you say hi to your mom as you walk past the camera. We're also going to be recording this for the purpose of streaming to our feed. We're available at iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, and a bunch of different places. But this is one of our regular panels, so what I'm going to be doing is reading an introduction, which is very cheesy and hammy, which kind of fits in with the theme, and my wig. And then we will discuss Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Sound good, everybody? All right. Bear with me just 1 second. Please talk amongst yourselves. There's cheese and ham in my wig? I thought I said, did I say one? I said cheese, didn't I?
You said ham.
Yeah. Okay. Where are my headphones? Oh, they're hanging out. Where are my headphones?
Right behind your screen.
All right.
Look at that. Oh, smart.
Okay, guys, ready?
Woo!
Hello, Grand Rapids. Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of the podcast entitled Couch Potatoes Unite! Exclamation point. This is a podcast based on a blog of the same name because we are live, damn it, it's a miracle. My name is Kylie, I love TV. If you feel the same, keep listening and or checking out the blog at couchpotatoesunite.wordpress.com as you're bound to find some common ground or something you like. For at Couch Potatoes Unite, we're all about the wonders and the unique long-form storytelling of the small screen. CPU hopes you've been following releases of brand new episodes of the podcast on Wednesdays, as well as new blog entries on some Tuesdays, and as always, we have several more new episodes on the way. Because the panelists and I live lives behind our podcasts, the episodes are still being published once per week in mini seasons. Kind of like The Walking Dead. So subscribe to the blog or the podcast via iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and brand spanking new via Google Play to stay on top of brand new episodes. Episodes already published discuss a variety of shows, including but not limited to Doctor Who, Downton Abbey, How to Get Away with Murder, Broadchurch, Marvel's Daredevil and Jessica Jones, Once Upon a Time, New Girl, The Vampire Diaries, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Gotham, Supernatural, Game of Thrones, the originals, and the X-Files from its inception through its revival. We've taken a look back at True Blood, Ally McBeal, Futurama, Desperate Housewives, Author. What the hell just happened? And more episodes are in the works, including a revisit for Orange is the New Black coming up very soon, and new entries in our ongoing American Horror Story series, plus our DC Television Universe panel will shortly be covering Arrow seasons 3 and 4 and The Flash seasons 1 and 2. What's more, if you didn't already know this, we've gone live. Apart from our recent live appearances at Comedy Outlet Mondays at Dog Story Theater,
Yeah!
CPU has yet another upcoming live event. It's true, for you to feast both eyes and ears upon in the coming month. On October 22nd, 2016 at 7 p.m., CPU will be live at Grand Rapids Comic-Con. We'll be featuring and live streaming to our Facebook page our DCTU and Marvel Defenders panels, who will be joining forces to discuss the top 5 live-action DC and Marvel heroes and villains, which promises to be a raging debate you won't want to miss. Make sure you like us at our Facebook page, our Twitter at CPU Podcast, our Instagram at Couch Potatoes Unite. Forget about Pinterest. Subscribe to the blog, our YouTube channel, our iTunes channel, our Stitcher Radio channel, or find us on Google Play to stay tuned to the latest developments. In fact, the art and event for the con will be released later this week. In the meantime, if you don't hear your show in this podcast format, fellow panelists and I still write reviews, and we're always seeking new panelists. So if you have any interest in joining the discussion, say hello by finding us at any one of our outlets that I've already mentioned. At the very least, stop by and leave us a thumbs up, comment, or review, because we like feedback, even if it's the kind of feedback that will result in us confronting our day and night drinking habit before we're ready. We can take it. Today we're around the water cooler while streaming originals as we chat about the Netflix original series Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Netflix on April 14, 2016 to the tune of 13 episodes, which means, for the record, that the show is legally available to Netflix subscribers exclusively, and as it is Netflix-produced original content. Gotta put that disclaimer out, you know. Created and produced by 30 Rock creators Tina Fey and Robert Carlock, the series follows 29-year-old Kimmy Schmidt, don't I look 29? Played by Ellie Kemper, as she adjusts to life in New York City after her rescue from a doomsday cult in Indiana, where she and 3 other women were held by Reverend Richard Wayne Gary Wayne, played by John Hamm, for 15 years. Determined to be seen as something other than a victim and armed only with a positive attitude, Kimmy decides to restart her life by moving to New York City, where she quickly befriends her streetwise landlady Lillian Ostupper, played by Carol Kane.
Yeah.
Finds a roommate and struggling actor Titus Andromedon, played by Titus Burgess, and gains a job as a nanny for the melancholy and out-of-touch socialite Jacqueline Voorhees, now white as of season 2, Jane Borkowski. With their help, Kimmy struggles to adapt to an unfamiliar world and jumpstart the adult life that had been taken away from her. Today, our very excited group of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt panelists, including the 5 original panelists plus 1 new voice, will be discussing the second season, the laughable, the cringeworthy, and other impressions of this popular comedy. Though the show is a situation comedy, it should be noted that all of the panelists have viewed the entire second season and may discuss sensitive plot points, surprise gags, or other things best enjoyed by a first watch. So as always, for those who haven't watched Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt at all, listen at your own risk, as there may be major spoilers. At this time, I'd like to reintroduce our panel and introduce our new panelists. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So we're going to go around the table. Normally, I would just say your names and introduce the new person. Don't tell us how you found Kimmy Schmidt, because we've already done season 1. We'll get to that when we get to our finale. But just remind us who you are, and then actually what I'd like you to do, I'm going to take your temperature, because if you listen to CPU, Internet, if you listen to CPU, you know that we have a standard question that comes with each of our podcasts, but it's changed with each show we do. And I have changed it quite substantially this time because our characters had some major life changes from season 1 to season 2. Would you not say that's fair? Sure. All right, so as you say your first name, tell us who you are. They may or may not reflect their current costumes, okay? So how would you rate your interest in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt nowadays? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing about this show can get you down. It's like fake Christmas every day, or your now that sounds like music cassette on permanent rewind. You like helping people no matter what it may cost you because you're determined not to be angry at what life or the show has dealt you, like Kimmy Schmidt. It's as fabulous as your one-man show about your past life as a geisha, your mastery of the very off-Broadway classic American songbook, such as A Glorious Morning from the musical Alabama, or your life with new boyfriend Mikey, like Titus Andromedon. It's better than going unnoticed as you protest the gentrification of your all-character Manhattan neighborhood, like Lillian Couchnepper. You think with a little discipline and your skills at gold digging, as well as your newly found respect for your Native American heritage, you and this show can get its groove that it has very much lost back, a la Jacqueline, formerly Voorhees, now white. You love Kimmy, but you can't be with her or her show because it's not practical, particularly for you to maintain appearances within your green card marriage, a la Dawn Wynn. You think that season 2 is not as fulfilling as season 1 because you appeared in it much less, though there are bright spots in your life, such as your talk show therapy and impending nuptials to your gay fiancé, or your efforts to join or start a new cult like Mole Women Cindy Picorni or Gretchen Chalker. Or you couldn't care less. You're too busy being day drunk while trying not to be night drunk to be too invested in Kimmy or her friends' exploits. Though you do enjoy the challenge of trying to psychoanalyze the whole messy business, like Andrea Baden.
Or Andrea from New Jersey, depending on what time it is.
Hey, that's on you. And why don't we start with the mouthy one, Krista?
Well, you ended with fine. I think I'm Krista.
That's true.
Hi, Krista.
Hi, Krista.
And I'm new. I think I'm Titus this time. Okay. I really enjoyed season 2. I liked it more than season 1.
Whoa. Interesting.
I mean, there were definitely high points, and little disjointed, I think, because it was supposed to be a weekly serial, and then it became all episodes were dropped at the same time. So those first 5 or 6 episodes were a little wonky, but I feel like with season 2, they really figured out their groove.
Okay, well, welcome back, Krista.
I'm Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Sarah.
Hey. I'm Titus. Okay. That's it?
Yeah.
Well, that is in keeping with Titus. Welcome back, Sarah.
Thank you, it's good to be here. Couldn't do it without me.
Hey, there might be a fight. Oh, you know, they can't see that on the microphone.
We're live streaming.
We are. Hi, Mom.
Oh, this is getting boring. I'm also Titus.
Yeah, you are.
Wow.
But I guess like Krista said, I'm Andrew. Hi. I'm Andrew.
Wow.
And I'm also Titus. In this. Yeah, I like season 2 better than season 1.
Me too.
The difference though is like what you said, season 1, you know, took time to get its footing because when it was with NBC as a weekly serial. But with season 1, I got hooked right away and I binged the whole thing in one sitting. I didn't with season 2. I was kind of disappointed in the first couple episodes. I don't know why. But then once season 2 started going, I started really liking it. I like the heart that it gave it. It humanized the characters more, and you started caring for them more, and they stopped being so one note and annoying, which they did. I mean, after I watched a lot of season 1 a lot of times, and then I kind of got sick of some of the characters, but I like season 2 more.
Okay.
But I'm Titus, yeah.
3 Tituses, maybe 4. We're gonna go to you now.
My name's Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Hi. I am also Titus. And I also have nothing more to say.
That's so surprising. Welcome back, Nick.
Thanks.
I'm Kristen, and for the sake of not being boring, I'm gonna say I'm Kimmy.
All right.
So we've had 4 Tituses now, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Kimmy.
The plural of Titus is Titus.
Whatever.
They might do that. They might do that. They might do that.
Just might. Yeah, so Kimmy, I still like season 1 better than season 2. I know, but I still love it, and it's Christmas every day when I watch Kimmy Schmidt, which was today, ironically enough. So, Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right.
Next.
Hi. Okay, so before you go, so you are a brand new panelist.
Yes.
This is a supersized panel.
Yes.
Yes. So what we'd like you to do is tell us who you are, first name only, please.
Okay.
Okay. How you came to watch Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh, Lord.
Why you kept watching, you know, what made you start, what kept you watching, all that normal business, and then pick a character. Go.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So my name is Eddie.
Hi, Eddie.
Okay. So this show came out, and I actually didn't start watching it when it first came out. And I got phone call after phone call after phone call. Eddie, there's a character on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt that acts just like you. You really need to watch the show.
It's not a lie.
I'm like, no. So finally, I think actually Kristen finally called me, and I go, shut up, okay, I'm gonna watch it.
I think I threatened you if you
You
didn't
might
watch
have
it.
threatened me, and I watched it in 2 days. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so him! I'm so Titus. If he ever dies, I'm right. I'm right here. So, I had to keep watching because I thought it was hilarious. It was, I love the creators, and I love the storyline. It just sucked me in, and I watched season 1 really, really fast. In regards to season 2, I actually like season 1 better. I only like season 1 better due to I think it was funnier. Season 1 was funnier and it had its moments. But I think season 2 is where we finally started to get real, which is where I actually fell in love with Kimmy. So I'm going to be a Kimmy.
Oh.
I know, shocker. Titus. I know, right?
You might have
I think
to
that makes sense, but okay.
It doesn't! But
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I'm always a Titus, number 1, but I'm for season 2. I'm telling you. But I do love that we started falling in love with the characters, and we got deeper in season 2. But I think season 1 is better than
Well, welcome, Eddie.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining our panel.
Thank you for having me.
So if you didn't catch it from the intro, my name is Kylie, and I'm moderating this. And as far as my interests in the show nowadays, I am also going to be Kimmy, because I also like season 1 better than season 2.
Really firm divide.
There is.
That's-
Yeah, man.
Didn't he say he was tired?
Yeah.
Why is he on?
Because he didn't
Because
choose
she said
between one
even
or two.
split. And
I'm
so-
sitting over
And
here.
he's over there. I don't know, I
She went
just
between
made
season 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, I
But
meant
you didn't
preference.
say which one was your favorite, did you?
He said I have
So,
nothing
it is
more
still-
to say.
Still ambiguous.
I thought you meant like there's 4 Tituses and 3 Kimmys, so I'm the panel right now.
That was hard,
I
guys.
can math.
Now you know why you watch the show.
Yeah.
This is how our panels go.
4 sevens would be the fractions.
It's a math teacher, it's okay.
Normally they're petty, remember now.
Like we were having trouble.
Hi, Mom. All right, so we have part of the panel in favor of season 1, part of the panel in favor of season 2. So let's start with the people who like season 2 better. What'd you like better about it? Why did you like it better? Andrew kind of talked a little bit about that. Whoever wants to say it.
It's more of a cohesive story.
Okay.
And it felt like it built to something and it fulfilled that, but also left us wanting more. Where I thought that season 1 wrapped up in such a way that I'm like, I haven't a clue where they're gonna go with this. When it's like they had to add stuff in to make it work, continue on. If that makes sense?
Okay.
Because I think they thought they were gonna be canceled.
Good point. That's very valid.
Well, I did like season 2 better, and one of the main reasons I think was the trial wasn't my favorite part of season 1.
Yeah, that was a little annoying.
And I don't think
Yeah.
anything in season 2 comes close to being as annoying to me as the trial.
Awkward.
Yeah.
I just
The
couldn't.
roller skating was
We just rewatched the whole thing, and when the trial comes in season 1, I'm just like, ugh. Like the Marsha Clark and the other guy lawyer, I'm like, oh, this is not funny to me at all. It's bad.
I think it's the only Tina Fey character I don't really like.
Yeah, I don't like it either, and I love
don't like her
Tina Fey.
either. That's how we feel about that.
I think that I don't know if it was the pacing or something in the writing that was crisper, but I felt like the dialogue was a little pithier and more fast-paced. And we watched it with the subtitles on because we have a 2-year-old who screams a lot and you can't catch what TV's saying, so we have to watch with the subtitles. And it actually,
Who cares why he's screaming as long as we know
No, he's
what
not.
is happening?
Oh, we should-
Right, he's just loud.
We should remind the listener and the interwebs that Nick and Sarah are married. Not children. That might also play a factor.
So we watched it with the subtitles on, and I got so many, I thought the jokes were awesome. It was easier for me to see it written, because it was so fast in season 2, and it just,
They do a lot of jokes, and this is basically the only show I've seen when they do this, and so much, where they have 2 punchlines that 2 characters say at the exact same time, and sometimes you only catch one of them, but the subtitles do help.
All right, okay. So pithier, more cohesive,
Kristen.
and more real was your feedback.
Yeah, they did more humanize the characters, you know, you feel for them in season 2. In season 1, it's just like, I felt like it was just like slapstick comedy, you know, it was like they were caricatures. But in a great way. Yeah, I overall like season 2 better than season 1, but Daddy's Boy will still be the best episode of the season. It's a great episode.
I love that.
All right, so now let's talk about why those of us who like season 1 better like season 1 better.
Did we change your mind?
No.
Really, no.
No. I like season 1 better because, as I stated earlier, I think it's funnier than season 2. I don't know. I think I identify with Titus more in season 1 than season 2. I do not have a boyfriend.
So, listen.
No!
Get your best.
If you know anybody.
If you're single and you're looking.
I'll take a construction worker. I'm okay with that.
Just putting that out there.
I really don't. Never
Woo! It's a multifunctional podcast. We'll see.
It worked. I just, like I said, I think season 1, it was funnier. I think it just, I haven't watched a show that's grabbed my attention that in a very long time. And I liked where, I'm sure all of us can agree that Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt is written where it can get really trashy, really campy, and really annoying really quick. And it never really got there. I think that's why I like season 1, because it was that true, almost improv, where they were acting like they didn't have a script, where they just were like, we're gonna do the show, okay, great. And so they all just did it. And I think every single character was casted 100% to perfection. That's why I like season 1. But I will agree with all of you on season 2, season 2 is where they're like, okay, we're really, really funny, but this is our lives and this is what we're living. And I think that's what season 2 gave us. And we need that. And season 3 is gonna be bigger. We need that. We'll see!
All right.
I like season 1 because it's more unexpected. I like that he said it seemed like there was more improv, which I am a fan of myself. So I think that's why it really stuck out to me, is that it was unexpected. I didn't know what was coming next. You know, the sight gags and everything else, that was all new to me. And I don't know, season 2, it seemed a little repetitive, but also it could be, I really, really don't like Dom's wife, Sonia. I really, really don't like her. So anytime she was on screen, it's like, oh, she's got her little invisible hat on. Awesome, here we go again. So that was kind of the main drag for
Tell us how you
season 2.
really feel.
You don't want to know how I feel.
Oh, yes, we do. It's a podcast.
Really didn't like her. I'm glad that that's kind of done. Sad that Dom is gone, because poor Kimmy, but
Is he gone for good?
no.
Okay. I was like, I didn't hear that.
He's not gone for good.
Okay.
I think season 2 was also really slow.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Took a while to get started.
Yeah, it did.
Probably like the 6th episode.
I guess, yeah,
Yeah.
5 or 6
I
is
The
when I
one where she
like.
hooks up with Dom, because that one is where everything starts picking up.
Yup, that would be.
I think it was slow. I thought it was too fast. It started and it was Christmas, and I was like, did we miss an episode?
And this is why you're
I actually went back every month, like, is this really episode
Yeah,
1?
I did that too.
Oh, 3 months later, or earlier.
I was like, why is meeting Canassus a main character?
Yeah.
Which I do love her, but I was very baffled.
I liked when she locked herself in the closet ahead of schedule.
I liked when she would see us.
I'm just gonna live like this. I don't know the songs. That's improv. Anyway, deeper.
It's true. That was a little deeper. I just want to second everything Eddie and Kristen said. I agree that the reason why I liked season 1 better was because it felt more unexpected. And season 2 did feel a little bit more scripted, and as a result, it felt a little bit more forced. I agree that the trial was a horrible low point that I didn't find funny, except for John Hamm. He's hilarious in the trial. Tina Fey and the other guy from SNL or wherever he's from. Who's that guy? Jerry Minor.
Yes.
They're not funny. Sorry guys, you were funny. But
It was like, they went for a very specific gag there, and we were just like 20 years past that.
yeah, it was a very old joke that didn't go anywhere. But it's helped that they were so incompetent for us to be able to see Reverend Richard Gary Wayne do his bit. So I do think it was a little bit more unexpected, a little bit more carefree. I can see why you thought it probably would be slapstick, but I also know you. I didn't regard it as slapstick. I think it hit the line and it didn't fall over it, and that's why I liked it. But I do like season 2. I still like season 2 quite a bit. And there were some great moments, and that's actually what we're going to transition to now. But before we do, so we're all dressed up as characters, and I did put this in the talking points for you to think about. If you saw yourself, apart from costume that you're wearing, although Eddie's not going to be able to answer anything different. Apart from the costume that you're wearing, if you saw yourself as one of these characters in real life, who would you be and why? Go! Nick is got deer in headlights.
Not Jacqueline?
I'm not this good.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? You just got to say
You made that ring.
Yeah.
You have a soldering iron and you made that ring on the
Flourish
floor.
the cake.
I think you are that gay. And it's okay. We want it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well, I stumped him. Okay.
This is hard.
They're not realistic characters.
Yeah, they're not grounded in reality.
Now I'm not realistic.
You made that ring.
Did you really make the ring?
did.
Okay.
It's actually a brooch and I saw her. Never mind. I did make it.
It reminds me of the episode where Titus made her face out of a bag.
See, look, it's really.
Titus is very crafty. He made the tape thing or whatever.
And he made that cake
Dug
out
it
of
out
a
of the
bag.
ground.
He made the first one out of the crib.
It was not good.
So you're Titus, whatever.
Maybe we should say who we think each other are. I don't know.
Maybe we'll just not do that question.
Maybe not. Or maybe I'm just so obvious you guys can't think.
I mean, it really is a hard question.
It is hard.
Okay.
I'd say Lillian.
Yes.
Of those, yeah, that's two animals. Like, we would have all, I mean, obviously.
What?
No, not looks.
Well, and you really could be Andrea, except for the drinking.
Especially because of the
Sarah's.
Maybe Canassus?
Or maybe Canassus.
Because I like to sing chandelier. And I'm a pretentious climber. I don't know. I guess, I don't know. And maybe Xanthippe because I act cool, but really I'm a nerdy person who like just wants to do well in life, but pretends that they're cool, but I'm not.
I can see that.
And kind of snarky.
Yeah, that's good.
And I did read all the Babysitters Club super novels.
All
When I
right.
was younger, so.
There you go. Nick.
Mikey, the construction worker.
Yeah.
That's great coming from my wife.
I think you're gay, honey.
Nick, this is intervention. I just feel because sometimes you like when other people dress you and you're not sure what. You know, Mikey comes over and he's like, I don't know what to wear.
Oh, I don't know what clothes to wear.
Yeah, see?
He hasn't called me yet.
You.
Next.
I want to combine the mole women for you.
You make great guacamole.
It's Malay sauce.
She makes ugly salsa, number one.
I do make a pretty good salsa, I will say that.
Number two, you know, there's a little bit of.
Fun City did. Oh,
Right.
Okay. We'll go with the mole women.
There's a cult that you just started.
What?
it's supposed to be secret. Oh.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's live on the web.
But there's not a delay.
You didn't get a square button? We're done.
So, no one's picked one for me.
I can't pick one. I can name like 3.
Yeah, I would go with combo too.
You're Lori Ann because you like roller coasters.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's it.
Dorian.
So let's talk about that surprise. Nice segue.
That's exactly what.
So, who's watched Kimmy Schmidt season 2 in the audience?
Woo!
Thank you. So, who was the fabulous surprise guest? Lisa Kudrow playing Kimmy's mom.
Yay!
What do you think of that?
That was like perfect.
Loved it.
That was
Real
Absolutely
good.
loved it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot.
there wasn't anything better.
No.
Yeah, I don't
It
think.
really wasn't.
No, I'm really glad that it wasn't Tina Fey. I know a lot of people were hoping. I'm really glad it wasn't.
But Tina Fey had spent all this time as her psychic
Which
therapist.
I liked. I liked that a lot better.
Yeah. So were they thinking that before the season
Yeah.
started? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I didn't go that direction either. That would have been awkward, I think. Don't you think?
Yes, very awkward.
All right.
Uninspired.
Uninspired,
At least the
exactly.
Pedro was inspired.
Yeah.
She
I
was.
loved all the little surprise cameos, such as Joshua Jackson when they were talking about Dawson's Creek. Yeah.
That is the quintessential scene that everybody remembers from Dawson's Creek when Casey and Joey do it. But everybody remembers, okay, maybe just me and my friends.
I think
But-
I wouldn't say that's a quintessential scene, but I
It-
guess this isn't Dawson's Creek. But,
The scene.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't.
So when they like had him, that was brilliant that he did that. I feel like I wrote that. Like that would be something that me circa 2002. Like, oh, maybe Pacey will come and talk about it. So that was beautiful.
That was awesome.
I
I
know.
enjoyed the Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
Yeah, the Jeff Goldblum.
Let's talk about that.
He was the Dr. Oz figure,
Yeah.
right?
Dr. Phil.
A combo there. I don't
Oz.
know.
Probably all of them.
Yeah.
He was a doctor of sorts on television.
Doctors who do talk shows. Satire.
And it was advice for like people who had tragedies, like the well girl.
And the woman who got swallowed by the orca.
Yeah.
Don't applaud.
It's a trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the cameo that I thought was the weirdest was the Fred Armisen kind of popping up.
Oh, yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But he did, well,
Robert
like he
Harris.
does a lot of those kind of strange characters on
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live. I don't know if it fit very well.
He did a weird one on New Girl too.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like
he
a
did.
season behind on it. But yeah, he did. And I thought that when I watched it, I was like, is this the same character from?
Because there was a random one where he was dressed as Lily and walked into the apartment real and did
Mhm.
something and then left. And I didn't know if that was Fred Armisen doing a weird thing or if that was his character
It was his
dressing up
character.
as
He was
her.
dressing up
Because
as
he was
Lily.
Robert Durst, so he was under investigation for murder. Place?
Like
HBO?
Yeah, it just didn't work for me in the show.
Okay.
Like I didn't laugh when Fred Armisen was on the TV.
I never did either.
Okay.
Sorry, Fred Armisen, I just didn't. But I didn't really laugh at him very often when he was on these other shows. I don't feel his characterizations of things. Sorry if that makes me a bother.
Not at all.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Andrew. Always got my back.
I enjoyed Amy Sedarison's movie.
High point, definite high point.
Sarah, did you enjoy Amy Sedaris' Mimi Kenneth?
Thank you for that segue, Kylie. Yes, I did. And I love that whole character is based out of her trying to sing a song in season 1 and getting the words wrong and saying Mimi Kenneth, and then they came up with the character name.
What else did you enjoy or not enjoy about season 2?
I didn't love David Cross, his character. I love him, but I didn't love that character. I thought he was gross.
I thought it was, and this isn't character specific, but part of the storyline, that they kind of after season 1, Kimmy Schmidt got a little flack for a couple of different things, and one was the Native American parents for Jack, that character, and they kind of were like, well, we're just gonna keep going with it and address something that's really kind of racist, that maybe more people should get upset about that. the Redskins logo. and-
Yes.
Yeah, so I kind of like that storyline quite a bit, and it seemed like something that they were making like fun of an extreme version of, but no, there's a football team called the Redskins, and that should stop.
Yes.
I thought
Yeah.
David Cross character was a high point. It was a much needed.
They kept talking about his nipple on his foot and how his breath
How is this
smelled.
different? How is this different from his character in Arrested Development for you though? Because he was
It was
kind
really
of
different.
I
It was
mean,
very different.
just in terms of the disgust level factor that she was talking about.
Well, just because they kept making reference to it, like how bad he smelled and was bleeding.
His
and
stink
he-
tongue.
And he, yeah, sting tongue and his nipple. Ugh, I don't need any of that in my life.
I thought it showed a really nice other side of Jacqueline.
Which
Yeah.
Which, no, I know that was the whole point.
No, I'm
I think
agreeing
that
with you.
contrast was
Yeah.
delightful.
I agree as well.
Still weird.
Why?
Different
Love is
strokes.
love.
I agree.
They say.
about, so we already mentioned that, well, we haven't really talked about Andrea too much, and I really kind of want to talk about Andrea. Because for as horrible as everybody thought Tina Fey's spot was in season 1, I felt like she more than made up for it in season 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Yeah. I think it was a way to
This is
have
exciting talk, guys.
a therapist in her life for her getting help,
Yeah.
but also making it a really interesting therapist who
Needs
blacked out
therapy.
drunk all night long and doesn't remember that she,
I love that she had to write notes to herself.
yeah,
But she ignored.
She was thinking.
Yeah.
right.
Okay, guys, we're good.
Don't get drunk tonight, work on your book because of mom, and then she threw it out the window.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
But the favorite part, Andrea part was when she broke into her boyfriend's house and tried to steal the dog, and it was the wrong house.
It was his old house. He had moved to Denver to work on his marriage. You know.
Yeah.
I hope that she comes back as that character.
I hope so too.
I do too, actually. It was really, really funny. And there were a lot of 30 Rock Easter eggs this
Kimmy
season.
needs more hair.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe she doesn't. Maybe she got closure from riding the roller coaster and scream. Wow. Krista.
Bring it down.
This is a comedy podcast. At Comedy Outlet Mondays. That's why. I'm here, please. So let's talk about Titus. We barely talked about him except for your
Connection.
connection and similarity. What do we feel about Titus this season?
I think Titus got real.
Okay.
Is that possible?
Yes, I think, I can't believe I'm saying this, he finally took off the makeup and he took off the rings and he took off I think he's really trying to find himself, and I think he's tired of people always thinking that he's over the top. Even though the only way he can get people's attention is to be over the top. That's why I think him having a boyfriend, next season, when they continue with it, we're gonna see a new side of Titus. I think he's actually gonna be serious. And I think we started seeing this. That's why I don't think season 2 was as funny, it's because Titus was calming down in season 2.
But you said that season 3 would be the kicker, and now you're saying that Titus is gonna be all serious.
Well, it's gonna be, when I say the kicker, it's gonna make or break the show.
Oh.
Because we had a really great season, and then we had where we got to know them, and going into season 3, I think they have to round it out, and they either have to stay on the route that the show goes, or we'll get to that. But back to Titus, I think they had to show a new development for Titus so that he wasn't so cheesy, and he wouldn't continue being cheesy in season 2. Then season 1, he was just, there was like cheesy drag queen, and then Titus. And which was great. It's just I'm glad that they didn't keep adding on to that they're actually bringing him down, because they started on such a high note.
I don't know, I feel like with the introduction of all of his past lives, and then him doing the one-man musical about his geisha past life, I don't think that's bringing him down. I think that's making him.
I like to
I don't
dance
know.
for
Hold
River
on.
Girl.
Hold on.
That was good.
Yeah,
That was
dance.
amazing.
With
I
the
love
sex
that.
life.
Yeah.
I do have to say though, it's making him real. He's kept finding out who he is, even though it's not geisha. But and he was dancing with his ex-wife. He thought he was straight.
He was in a scene with the character that was played by a puppet.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks
Yeah,
for destroying my
like-
theory.
And, I mean, he took over Mikey's coming out because it wasn't dramatic enough.
That's true, he did do
Because he
that.
wanted his own coming out, and he didn't really get one in Alabama. So I'm with you there. Like, he wanted something. He wanted to get one.
He's trying to bring himself out.
Do we think Kimmy and Titus will live together in season 3? Or if that, since Mikey
Did
and
Mikey
Titus?
move in?
Yeah.
No, yeah, but then he went on the cruise ship, right?
Well, that's
So,
only 4 months.
Season 3 could start with Titus coming back, like.
What do you think is gonna start season 3?
Titus on the cruise ship.
We have to see Titus on the cruise
I
ship.
think he'll flashback. Yeah, I think he'll flashback.
Either way.
No, I think
Yeah.
Titus is gonna go on the cruise ship and he's gonna do something really dumb and get fired, and he's gonna have to move back in with Kimmy.
But Mikey makes all the money. he said.
What about, I think season 3's gotta start with Kimmy and, Reverend Richard Gary.
Wayne.
Yeah, he was at the end of the season.
Yeah,
He
he
was
said making a
making,
divorce.
yeah, making some insinuations and
Yeah.
wah-ha-has over the telephone there.
So we gotta find out about that
Who's he
marriage.
gonna marry?
Who do you think?
Gretchen.
Yeah, I would put my money on
It's
Gretchen.
Gretchen.
Gretchen's just so easy.
Why
Now
did
that
he
she's-
marry Gretchen in the bunker then?
Well, he probably
Maybe he-
did.
Because she was too available then.
I'm.
Well, now she has her own cult and she's moving up the world.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe he tries to
They
get in
would
on
be
her
a power
cult.
couple in cult circles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on the line and say he's gonna marry Kimmy's mom.
No.
Dun, dun, dun.
That would be dysfunctional.
Go big or go home.
Dysfunctional, yeah, that's true. That's true.
She might still be married to that one guy, Tim Blake Nelson.
Are they still married?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't remember that.
I know, I
detail.
think that's
I don't think they did. Audience?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Did Kimmy's mom and her stepdad stay married, or are they divorced?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
Kieran
remember
Sharp has
that.
a
You
really
just
good
watched
one.
both seasons.
I don't think it made, I don't think it said. I know at one point.
He said he lost her. I think that's all they really say.
Yeah.
Well, that would be an interesting twist as well. So.
It kind of undoes the whole Kimmy not being there for Dom to get married because she couldn't legally marry him anyway.
Come to find out.
But I guess she didn't know that, right? She didn't know.
Right, she didn't know that.
She didn't know she was legally married to the Reverend.
I don't think she could be. How could that have gone on in the bunker?
Well,
The
we don't
internet.
know.
I've married a couple.
They have to go down to City Hall and file a permit.
How would he leaves. He goes out.
But she couldn't have signed it. She's
Maybe
a
he
missing
drugged her.
person. I don't know.
Maybe-
That I
maybe-
don't know.
Maybe he gave her some discipline. Maybe it was made back then.
I guess I just feel like if she signed a legal document and she was a missing person and he filed that he married this missing person, I'd be like, where is she, sir?
Trying to put logic in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Just saying, if you're listening, Tina Fey, don't let it go that way. I don't think it could.
Okay.
Maybe they're just only married under the eyes of God, and he's a man of cloth and all.
That's true. I
A
mean,
man of the cloth and all.
How many claws does he have?
Well, he's a reverend or some sort of.
That's what he calls himself, right?
But he thinks he is.
Right.
He's got a lot of cleansing to do.
Are you going to keep watching season 3? I think it's been renewed, hasn't it?
yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Are you gonna keep watching season 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, did they renew it for 2 more seasons?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they renewed it for 2.
We'll check that before we publish.
I'm gonna watch season 3 even if it hasn't been renewed.
Okay.
Dedication.
And you're gonna tell us about it?
Sure.
Are you gonna act it out for us?
Mhm.
All right. I'm on
Like Neil
board.
deGrasse fan
And you're gonna keep watching too?
Of course.
You've been unnaturally quiet over here.
I know, I'm just listening.
Okay, fair enough. Would you recommend to these people who don't know what we're talking about that to watch this show?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
And why would you do
I
that?
don't know them. They can watch whatever they want.
But would you recommend it?
Yeah,
He's fighting more with me than he is with you this time.
I think it's just an easy comedy show to watch. Good way to get your feet wet, and if you're interested in watching something like Arrested Development or 30 Rock, but you're like, I don't know if I can commit to that many seasons, just check this out. And
30
it's
Rock.
kind of the same style. What?
You say 30 Rock's better?
I'm not saying I disagree, I'm just saying.
No.
It's a gateway.
It's a gateway show.
It's a gateway drug.
It's only 13 episodes a season.
Yeah.
So 2 seasons is like 1 season of 30 Rock.
Put it on while you're vacuuming.
Make sure the subtitles are up.
Yeah.
Maybe it's turn the subtitles on, it's way easier to get what's going on. All right, for me.
Well, I would definitely recommend that you keep watching, and because this is a sitcom, and it has been renewed for season 3, the next time Couch Potatoes Unite talks about Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt will be after season 3 drops. I don't think they've had a release date out for that. Netflix is all wibbly wobbly with when they release things because they have all these shows they're trying to get out. But I'm going to turn it back over to Comedy Outlet Mondays. Before we do, I want to thank Krista, Sarah, Andrew, Nick, Kristen, and Eddie for joining me today to talk about Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Just want to remind everybody that CPU will next be live at Grand Rapids Comic Con, October 22nd.
Yes.
This episode that you just watched will be published online at our Facebook page, and then on Wednesday will be republished at couchpotatorsunite.wordpress.com and on our feed, which you can find in iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and then you can also find us on YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel where this video will be as well. We have several more new episodes coming down the pike. Make sure you keep abreast of us on social media to find out what those are. Until that time, keep listening, keep watching, stay tuned. Bye-bye.